Not very much experience in Toastmaster, but I understood some skill set which can be applied in real life, like communication. In communication, we can clearly it's not like we have to rush things. You can have a moment and deliver the content to the other person in a clear way. That I understood from Toastmaster, and yeah, that's all. Okay.
Call somebody.
No, let's wait for the person to come and then hand over the podium. Yeah, please. Magesh Mani.
So good morning. The main skill I learned here is public speaking. How to present a prepared speech or
Anything other than public speaking that is given.
So confidence. Confidence on for me, confidence is the main thing I learned here. So it might help in my college interviews in my future to get job or placement. So I feel more confident, and if my teacher could pull me out and ask me to speak on a topic, I could speak better after joining Toastmasters. I could gain a little bit of extra confidence so that I could prepare my speeches more efficiently.
Call somebody else. Hand it over.
Satish.
I'll take this round.
Hand it over to him and go. So, yeah, learning is that.
Don't leave the stage.
Yeah.
Don't leave
Thank
the
you so much.
stage.
So this question struck the moment Ashok asked. This is the first thing came to my mind. What life skill I learned in Toastmasters? It's literally a life skill. We were back in Colombo in 2016, attending for the very first time conference, and it was combined with 2 days of stay in the hotel and everything. That's when I saw that at the end of the first day evening, everybody was totally relaxed, and it has only the night for the dinner and everything. There was a huge swimming pool. They were all geared up to go to the swimming pool for swimming and enjoying the time. I also went there. I went there with my whatever brought swimsuits I brought, and I went there and I relaxed it. It was feeling ashamed for me when I look around people after 30-35 years of age, you can't even swim. So that made me, to push myself into learning the swimming. Then I joined in aquatic complex, and it was few years of learning. Still I'm learning. I'm sure Toastmasters is all about continuous learning. I think with this I'll give it to Ashwin. One life skill. One life skill you learned in Toastmasters.
Still in round
Other than
robin.
communication and writing.
Still in round robin.
Which round?
Yeah, one.
No, just feel free to speak about one life
life
skill that you learned in Toastmasters, other than communication and leadership skills.
It will be coming on time that I would have to improve upon. That
Still learning.
still learning. We'll be trying to process it even in the next class as well. For all, I have been able to increase my confidence by speaking to my peers. I believe that for a person who has started working, communicating with your colleagues, your seniors, your juniors, in one way they're different than the other. And that after coming to Toastmasters, I have been able to improve that, and I have been able to stand on my ground. All in all,
Call somebody else.
You can
Call
Call someone
somebody
else, hand over this.
I know to show this.
Handshake.
Handshake. Don't leave the podium empty. Handshake and then.
A very good morning to everybody. I think one life skill I've learned from Toastmasters is just talking to people. I've always found it difficult to talk to new people, and I think this is one place where I've been free and confident to talk to people. And I think it is all thanks to everybody sitting here who's made it so comfortable for me to talk.
Call somebody else.
You're
I should somebody else.
done.
Yeah. One important thing, life skill which I learned from Toastmasters is not comparing myself with others. When I started my Toastmaster journey, I started off with club in Velachery. There I used to be a great man. Everybody would say, "Ah, super, super, super." I used to raise my collar and think, "Oh, great." But then very soon I shifted to Meraki. I saw genius are here, and I felt very small in front of all of them. I didn't communicate this to any of them. Each and everybody is doing something great, and particularly software. People are talking about software. Everybody was a software guy, other than one or two. And even that one or two was very good in software, doing this and that. For about 2-3 months, I was feeling very small. But only thing is, somehow or other, I kept it inside, and I didn't tell them. But very soon, I realized that there is no question of comparing myself. Each and everybody has their own talent, and I have my own talent. Let me develop it. That's it. Let me call this compliment.
Thank you so much, Gopinath. In 2015, I was taking up the role of division director. And my wife was conceived at that point. And I wanted to quit. I don't want to take that role. And one of the important things I learned during that point is I took the role of division director, balancing family, profession, your personal, and Toastmasters. All that cycle will you manage when you are in Toastmasters. For example, Sunday mornings we'll go to Besanagar beach by 6 o'clock. And we spend 1.5 hours of time, and we come back home buying fish and reach home and help my wife in preparation, and then I'll go to Toastmasters meeting, come back, have some snap. So that balance with respect to spending time with family, taking care of your Toastmaster chores and all that, I learned during that point. Maybe after that, I feel anything you give, okay, let's take it, we can balance it. So I'll leave it to Hema.
Hi. So one thing I learned from Toastmasters is like fear not. Earlier, like I used to think twice before taking up any opportunity. By the time I think, like I would have lost that opportunity. So now I've learned, after coming to Toastmasters, I've learned not to fear for anything. So for instance, like yesterday I had a license exam. So my license got expired during the COVID, it's a particular notice. So I was not able to renew. So I had to take up the re-exam again. So two-wheeler is something like which I was riding from my age, like I was able to do it. But four-wheeler is something like which I am not very confident. So I did, I was accompanied by my husband, probably he came to protect his car. So he came along with me. And he was very sure that like I will not clear this license exam. So two-wheeler, like I went like, that was like very confident. And four-wheeler, I thought like, that was a manual gear, like reverse gear, I noticed only that time like reverse gear was not falling. So she asked me, the license inspector asked me to go take a U-turn. That was a bigger vehicle like XL6. So the road was not very broad. So I was like very confident. I was not scared, like, but he was like very scared about his car. And he was very sure that like I will not clear my license exam. But like I was very confident, like I went, I took a U-turn and I came with a bigger vehicle and she said like you cleared. This not fearing I learned only through Toastmasters and cleared my license.
Call someone.
Yeah, we
Hand over.
Very good morning, please. Distinguished guests. So, one thing I learned in Toastmasters is the consistency. Last 3 months, tremendous pressure in work. Every night, almost on weekdays, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, even sometimes 3 p.m., 3 a.m., we have to work, I have to work. But still, meeting these Toastmasters, and every bi-weekly we have a meeting, we have to ensure that all the roles are filled, and we have to bring something extra, something different. So which makes me to think and plan well in advance, at least 10 days in advance I'm starting filling the people and ensure that. And this makes consistency to apply in my professional as well as personal skills. This is helping me to go out. Thank you all.
You can call
Yeah, Sundaraman sir.
or Madhu.
I used to be a fun-loving and humorous person, only at home. When I come outside, I look serious, and people think that I am serious. But it is okay to be fun-loving person even outside home. So, for example, in office, during your corporate training program, during Toastmasters meeting. That I learned from Toastmasters. Fun-loving person and being childlike person. I think all of you know the difference between childlike and the childish. Childlike person and being humorous. And I think some of the stalwarts have said that you have to shed inhibition and you have to be shameless. And I have literally taken that by word and try to apply it in Toastmasters meeting as well outside. Being a corporate trainer, I try to be as humorous as possible. All that credit goes to Toastmasters. Sure. Madhu.
One thing I learned here is being more expressive. I learned being more expressive in Toastmasters, and I also learned that. So before I wasn't very talkative person. I used to have my own group of people and circle, and I used to talk only with them. So once I get to know somebody very well, then I used to have a good convo with them. But then if I'm meeting somebody new, it takes like 2 or 3 months for me to make myself comfortable with them and actually have a good conversation. So now I'm trying to meet new people and initiate a conversation by myself so that I can actually get along.
Thank you so much. So that was a great round robin session. At least I learned a lot through this session. One thing that when people ask me what Toastmasters is all about, especially people who don't know about Toastmasters, the general explanation that we give is it is a forum where we can learn public speaking skills. But there is so much more to learn, especially when you go to conferences, because many of them touched upon the conferences, like Colombo conference that Satish talked about. Only when you go to a conference, you will come to know the Toastmasters is much wider than the club meeting. Especially there is a division conference happening today. When you go out, meet the other club, meet the other division, district people, the perspective widens. I still remember the conference that we had in the Chennai Trade Center one. That was before the pandemic. Okay. And that is one of the best experiences I ever had. That 3 days, you will have so much learning, especially the keynote speakers will be mostly people whom we would not otherwise get a chance. I wouldn't have otherwise got a chance to meet Gopal Das. Gopal Das. We all have seen his videos in YouTube. But if you want to meet him in person, or if you want to pay and go and attend his meeting, it is impossible. It's so expensive and impossible. But Toastmasters, through the conferences, it gives so much experience. So don't think that Toastmasters is only public speaking, only leadership. No, there is so much more, and you will explore. Yes, sir.
In fact, Pathway says that you can learn more than 360 competencies.
Absolutely, absolutely.
360.
That's for another day. Probably we'll plan an education session for that. With that, I hand over the control back to the presiding officer, who will hand it over to the team. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashok. It's a very big round robin we had, and it was very useful. It's now time for us to get along with the meeting. So to conduct the meeting today, we have a person called the Toastmaster of the day. And today's Toastmaster happened to be a youngster, a learner who wants to learn. And we always used to tell all newcomers, whatever be the cause, whether you are doing any role or not, plan for 10 minutes ahead, be here, so that will make your day safer, whether you are playing a role or not, but that will help a lot. If you come a little early, 5 minutes early, just keep observing what is happening, come and start doing things, that itself will throw you out into Toastmasters. So with that simple word, let us call the Toastmaster today. Today's Toastmaster, Toastmaster Ashwin Rajesh.